morning, everybody. Thank you for that thunderous applause for our graduates. They deserve every bit of that. I am Father Fred Edmond. I'm from the Boston College Law School class of 1978, and I am the chaplain at the law school. And it's my privilege this morning to lead us in prayer as we celebrate this wonderful event. So please stay seated. Let us pray. Good and gracious God, as we gather here on this festive day, we ask your blessing on our Boston College community, especially our law school graduates of the class of 2023. We also ask your blessing on all of us, their families and friends. We give you thanks for their many achievements while they have been students here, and we ask you to bless them with your love and guidance as they continue to move on to lives of service in the legal profession. We are mindful that you call all of us to be instruments of justice. In sacred scripture, we hear your prophet Amos cry out, "Let justice roll down like a river, and righteousness like a never-failing stream." And we are challenged by the call of your prophet Isaiah to release those bound unjustly, to untie the thongs of the yoke, to set free the oppressed, breaking every yoke, to share our bread with the hungry, to shelter the oppressed and the homeless, to clothe the naked when we see them, and to refuse to turn our backs on our own. We know that you call us to do justice in the world, and we ask you to bless us as we undertake that task. May you inspire us all, Lord, to be worthy stewards of your creation and to respect your divine image that is present in us all by heeding your call to love our neighbors and ourselves and to do justice in our world. And finally, we ask your blessing upon all who have worked so hard to make this festive event possible. We ask you this in confidence, for you are the God who made us, you are the God who saves us, you are the God who sanctifies us each and every day. Amen. And at this time, I would ask you to stand, and I invite to the podium Sarah Ursini of the class of 2023, who will sing the national anthem for us.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night
Father Leahy, Provost Quigley, members of the faculty, our commencement speaker, Judy Woodruff, members of the Boston College Law School class of 2023, and their families and friends, welcome to our commencement celebration. Yay. As most of you know, I joined this community as your dean just this past January. But even in that brief period, I have been amazed by your class. You started law school at a time of real uncertainty and upheaval, and you persevered. And I've been amazed by the feeling of togetherness and purpose that you share, by the lasting bonds that are formed here at BC Law between students, faculty, and staff. I've also already seen how these bonds extend across our alumni around the country and the world, a group that you are about to join. They're formed through a sense of mission, a culture of respecting others, and a commitment to using the law to uphold equal human dignity and to create real, lasting change in society. I will tell you that these close bonds, these lasting friendships, and sense of shared purpose are truly unusual at a law school. Please cherish it. BC Law's mission of lawyers for the greater good is very present. I've seen it, I've felt it, and there are many ways to live it out. You might be coming to your own definition. That's kind of the point. You may want to go into big law, a nonprofit, business, government service, or a clerkship, or maybe all of the above over the course of a long career. What is clear is that the world needs lawyers for the greater good in all of these places. In recent years, we've seen a global pandemic, economic crisis, movements for racial justice, and challenges to democratic ideals. And law and lawyers are at the center of all of these struggles. The rule of law is under significant pressure here in the US and around the world. It is a concept or ideal that can be and has been easily abused. It can be made empty or used for ill in the world without lawyers, good lawyers, to define and shape this concept through their work, trained to ask how law and legal argument can serve or disserve the greater good. At the university commencement ceremony earlier this week, the Ukrainian ambassador to the United States, Oksana Markarova, became our most recent honorary alumna, receiving an honorary doctorate of law from Boston College. And indeed, one ongoing and blatant example of the perversion of legal language can be found in Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine. He's called this a special military operation to protect people from abuse and genocide that he claimed had been propagated by the Ukrainian government. He also framed the invasion as in line with norms of international law. In Putin's legal narrative, his full-scale invasion of Ukraine was a necessary and permissible act of self-defense against a NATO alliance that ignored the rules, in his words, protecting a Russian sphere of influence since the collapse of the USSR. We all know, of course, who the true aggressor in this war is, and we understand all too well how disinformation can be weaponized. The language of law itself can be weaponized too. For me, this hits close to home. I grew up in Indonesia, where my mother is from originally, which was an authoritarian regime for many years, including all the time I was there. Authoritarian figures made the law and interpreted and broke it in their image, and they punished those, including many brave lawyers, who countered them. And the regime declared that all of this maintained the rule of law. And so, for too long, and for too many in that country, the concept of the rule of law became meaningless, almost a joke. Actually, jokes were made about it, leaving a deep consequence for the society and a mountainous task of rebuilding. Though, luckily, many brave lawyers have been willing to take on that challenge. We don't usually, or haven't historically, at least recently, thought of the US as a country in which the rule of law is under threat. But recent events here also highlight the ways that the rule of law, as grounded in ideals of democracy and equal human dignity, is not something we can take for granted anywhere. It can be strengthened, but it may also weaken. We have to be vigilant. Wherever your career takes you, please remember that this large and sometimes abstract concept, the rule of law, takes life and becomes meaningful through your work and your actions. And through you, it becomes visible and real to countless individuals, families, businesses, and communities. Law's integrity depends, most importantly, on those who use it, those who know it, those who are willing to call out its perversions and its abuses from a place of expertise, with a commitment to human rights and equal justice, carrying the mantle that you are about to take on as lawyers. If this all feels like too much pressure, give yourself moments of rest too. Remember to take care of yourselves as you go out into the world, and to turn to those around you now for your support. Turn to those around you, your classmates, the larger BC law community. They will be here for you when it seems like too much. Remember your law school professors and mentors who believe in you now and believe in all you will do, and your family and friends who've supported you, many of whom are here today or watching from afar. In fact, I would like all of you, our graduating class of 2023, to turn to the audience here today, celebrating you. Take a look at them. I know they've offered such support to you. Some of them probably remember you as children, maybe making a devastating case for why dessert really should be eaten first. And maybe thinking, that kid should go to law school. And here you are. I can feel their pride and love beaming down upon you. So thank you to all of you for everything you've done to support them, really. Yeah, you deserve more rounds of applause. My challenge to you today, class of 2023, a day of celebration for all you have accomplished and all the hard work you have put into this degree. My challenge is that you never forget the lessons you've learned from your faculty, your classmates, your mentors here, and to seek for more places to find more lessons. Protect and nourish that drive to make the world a better place. Use the tools we've given you to make amazing things happen. We are so proud to see how you will embody, enhance, advance BC Law's mission of service to the greater good. I don't want to scoop Father Leahy, but as the Jesuits say, go forth and set the world aflame. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2023. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Reverend William P. Leahy of the Society of Jesus, President of Boston College, who will offer welcoming remarks.
Dean Leonow, Ms. Woodruff, our speaker, members of the faculty, staff, and our guests, especially family members, and then in particular, the graduates of 2023 from the Boston College Law School. I'm delighted I can be here and offer a few words of welcome, not only to this ceremony, but to participate in the heritage of the Boston College Law School. Part of Boston College, founded in 1929, and still today reflecting the Jesuit Catholic heritage. This is an opportunity, obviously, for us to celebrate achievement, dedication, commitment on the part of our graduates, but also their family members and friends. And it also occurs to me in the context of what Dean Leonow referenced about our current world. It's a moment for each of us to rededicate ourselves to living lives that reflect integrity, commitment to the law, desire for community, and helping make God more present in our day. We live in a time when we very much need members of the legal profession who stand for values, who believe in human rights, who want to assist those most in need. We need you, members of the class of 2023. You early on, or perhaps later in life, developed an interest in the law, and you've persevered. We need you to be individuals who remain guided by a sense of ethics, who care for the vulnerable, who strive to protect human and legal rights, who work for justice and respect the law, foundational to our nation and our democracy. Today, then, I think invites us to look back in thanksgiving, to savor the achievements and links that bring us to Conferring today, to remember people and values that have shaped our lives, and then to affirm our desire to help make our world better, more at peace. And so my prayer for you today is that God especially bless you graduates of the Boston College class of 2023, your future endeavors, and enable you to share with others what you have so greatly received from faculty, staff, family, friends who have been part of your lives for years. So may God continue to bless you, and I thank you for your commitment to being members of the legal profession. Thank you.
To the class of 2023, I'm Katie Young. It is my honor as Associate Dean of Faculty and Global Programs to convey the congratulations of my faculty colleagues to you all and to give our best wishes to both you and to your loved ones. We are so proud of your achievements, first as law students and now as law graduates. You entered law school as the pandemic was reshaping our assumptions about legal education, legal practice, and access to justice. As each assumption was pressured by the constraints of public health and social trust, your capacity for optimism and empathy brought fresh ideas to each. You, class of 2023, often taught us. Now, we law professors pay attention to words, how they evolve, how they rise to prominence or fall into disuse, depending on society's preoccupations or ordeals. Words offer a clue for lawyers, for law's effectiveness, uptake, or its zones of disagreement or contestation. And so I scanned the words of the year, those circulating most during your 1L, 2L, 3L, or LLM years, to see if they would provide a summary theme for your degrees. Some were surprising, some were not. Least surprising was the Merriam-Webster Word of the Year of 2020, pandemic. Pan meaning all, and demos meaning people, a disease visited on or upon the people. And yes, containing the same root as democracy, which was also highly pressured in 2020. It's hard to imagine a more theme-setting experience for the study of law and the challenges of social organization, collective decision-making, adaptation, and resilience than your 1L year of law school. Then the next year, 2021, the word of the year was vaccine. A promising medical solution to the pandemic, this word also became a political argument and source of division. Any 2L could quickly see real-time the challenges to the conceptual building blocks of law's legitimacy, equality and equal protection, choice and consent, beliefs and the benefits of scientific progress, laws of general application and their exceptions. These concepts all snowballed into policy debates about vaccine mandates and vaccine access. Globally, the debates focused on the inequities of vaccine distribution, where US vaccines expired before many in other parts of the world received any. A hard case, we might say, without a court to decide upon it. Into your 3L year or your LLM year, respectively, starting in fall 2022, the word of the year for 2022 drew from a literary reference, originating in theatre and the movies, and becoming a central part of cultural conversation. That word was gaslighting. Taken from a 1930s play in which a man plays tricks with the house lights to make his wife distrust her own sanity. She sees them dim. He insists they are unchanged. Gaslighting is a metaphor of deception and manipulation, gradually becoming a standard in feminist criticism, and then released at large to describe a world caught up in misinformation and fake news. But with a word of the year, like gaslighting, your last year of legal education has a theme to signal the centrality of your professional choice and the responsibility on your shoulders. You have by now learned the old-fashioned words to describe this kind of thing: fraud, intent to deceive, a false representation regarding a material fact. You learned such concepts in the classroom and in the clinics and in the conversations in the corridors and on Canvas and elsewhere. You have been equipped to identify these practices and protect your client from them. You have also assumed obligations of professional responsibility that protect the public from such effects. You understand the demands of truth for the rule of law. So whether you become private lawyers, prosecutors, legislators, judges, other public lawyers, whatever you do and wherever you commence your careers, whether it's here in Boston, Massachusetts, elsewhere in the United States, or indeed in any corner of the globe, the legal education you have received during the years of your degree has prepared you. Which incidentally takes me back to the word of the year that was circulating when you were deciding whether to go to law school, and when you set in chain the tests, challenges, and goals that, with hard work and perseverance, have put you here in your seats today. That word of that year, 2019, was justice. So congratulations to you, the graduating class, from your teachers, the faculty here at Boston College.
Now, I'm delighted to introduce our commencement speaker, Judy Woodruff. Ms. Woodruff is a senior correspondent for the PBS NewsHour after serving for over a decade as its anchor and managing editor. She's covered politics and other news for 5 decades at CNN, NBC, and PBS, including as anchor and senior correspondent at CNN for 12 years as well. She's interviewed heads of state, many other very important politicians, and moderated presidential debates. She and the late Gwen Ifill were named co-anchors of the PBS NewsHour in 2013, the first time an American national news broadcast would be co-anchored by 2 women. Ms. Woodruff has received numerous awards, including the Peabody Journalistic Integrity Award, the Poynter Medal, an Emmy for Lifetime Achievement, and the Radcliffe Medal. She's the author of This is Judy Woodruff at the White House and is a founding chair of the International Women's Media Foundation. She has served on numerous boards of trustees, including the Carnegie Corporation and the Urban Institute. Everyone, please welcome Judy Woodruff.
Thank you, Dean Linnau. So excited to be here. To you, Dean Linnau, to Father Leahy, to the faculty, administrators, families, friends, loved ones, and especially members of the graduating class of Boston College Law School 2023, thank you for the wonderful honor of addressing you on this special day. Congratulations. It isn't every day that I have the pleasure of looking out on bright, smiling faces of a few hundred newly minted lawyers. Yes, I work in Washington, D.C., where there are thousands of lawyers. We're surrounded by them, but they're not always smiling. What an honor it is to be addressing graduates of this law school, Boston College, highly respected not just for its academics, but for its dedication, as we know, to public service, to diversity, to inclusion. The alma mater of so many notables in American public life, including people I've covered for years, Ed Markey, John Kerry, and the late legendary Massachusetts Congressman Silvio Conte, after whom this forum is named. And to be addressing Dean Linnau's first commencement since she arrived in January. She told me that everyone here has been extraordinarily welcoming. Let's give her an additional warm round of applause. And it's such a privilege to be asked to speak to you. I think it's around 250 of you who have worked so hard to arrive at where you are today after having started law school, as you know, remotely in the early stages of the pandemic. 3 years and plenty of blood, sweat, and tears later, you in this class deserve special recognition. The fact that you survived all that and came out stronger proves that you are resilient. And you can take comfort from that. But what I'm also told is that you not only survived, you offered a helping hand to each other in those hardest days. If someone needed help, even if it meant setting your own work aside, you demonstrated resilience. But you've also demonstrated caring, and I cannot think of better training for life. As honored as I am to be here, I'm under no illusion that I can offer any advice that you haven't already heard somewhere else. But I can share some observations about what I see after 50 years of reporting on American politics and public life, as well as my hopes for you in the years to come. The good news is that on this day, the United States is thriving economically. More people are getting an education. We've made advances toward equity and opportunity compared with where we were even a generation ago. And because we have managed to hold on to our democratic system of government for almost 250 years, cherishing the freedoms guaranteed in our Constitution, the United States is still a place to which people living abroad in hard economic circumstances or under oppressive governments seek to come. But America can never be a place to rest on its laurels, and we don't have to look far to see the challenges that cry out for your attention. Besides the mental health and addiction crisis gripping our country, too many Americans, including children, still lack access to good health care, to adequate housing, even a healthy diet, and something you know well, fair treatment in our judicial system. And for the first time in modern memory, we face serious threats, as you've been hearing already this morning, threats to our democracy from within our own borders. During your first year of law school, right here, legitimate results of a presidential election were called a fraud and challenged, not just in courtrooms across the land, but by a group of Americans wielding batons and flagpoles, beating up security guards and police officers, ransacking the U.S. Capitol building, and threatening to kill members of Congress and the Vice President of the United States. There can be legitimate debates in this country over the role of government, over issues like immigration, abortion, and health care, and so many more. But there should be no debate over the integrity of our election process, the legitimacy of the 2020 presidential election, or a violent mob assault on the citadel of our democracy in an attempt to overturn the will of the American people. And one more, as a journalist, I reject the notion that we all engage in fake news. Sometimes we do our job well, sometimes we're far from perfect, but the journalists I know and all my colleagues at the NewsHour try every day to report the news fairly and to get the facts right. That is what drives us. I've covered American politics since the 1970s. I have reported on debates and disputes between Republicans and Democrats for that entire time, but I have never covered a time when the two sides were as far apart as they are today, and when each side held such a dark view of people on the other side. The Pew Research Center told us that unlike just 30 years ago, Republicans today are far more likely to view Democrats as not just wrong on the issues, but dishonest and immoral. And there's been a similar change in Democrats' view of Republicans. Today's differences are dividing neighbor from neighbor, coworker from coworker, brother from sister, daughter from father. Too many families tell stories of how they can't sit together around the Thanksgiving dinner table. This is not the America the Founding Fathers thought they were creating. It's not the America I used to know, and I fervently hope it's not the America that you will be making your way in. As part of the reporting project that I've undertaken for the NewsHour since the start of this year, I'm traveling the country, trying to understand what is at the source of this division, talking to ordinary Americans wherever I go, and to a number of scholars who've studied it. Just a sampling. The city where I was born, Tulsa, Oklahoma, is the place where over 100 years ago, there was the worst massacre of Black Americans in our history. Today, Oklahoma politicians have restricted what teachers can teach about this because it may make some students feel uncomfortable. A mother told me that without that new state law, her children would be learning Marxism in the public schools. In rural northwestern Pennsylvania, an incoming member of the school board told me that CRT, critical race theory, which we know is taught only at the university level, he said it's being taught in our public schools. He said that even as there's no evidence of it. In Madison, Wisconsin, a design engineer told me he was sitting out and not going to vote in the hotly contested election for a seat on the state Supreme Court because that race had grown so bitter. And in Cleveland, Ohio, just last weekend, I interviewed 6 voters who are part of an effort to bridge this divide, and several of them told me they blame the news media and the politicians for making the divide worse. And I think they have a point. I do believe too much of the news media fosters argument and conflict, particularly on some television news channels, and of course we know on social media, where terrible things can be said or written with no attribution, no taking of responsibility. Today, Americans can get their news from 1,000 different sources, often with no vetting or fact-checking. It's not only journalists today who must struggle to stay focused on the facts and what's real. There is a blizzard of misinformation and disinformation reaching all of us and fostering much of the division in this country, along with the conspiracy theories that we're now hearing almost daily. Whatever you do, I urge each of you to think of yourself as part of this effort to search for facts. Speak up for the truth. There's too much at stake to let falsehoods and lies win the day. You young and energetic graduates have the ability to make sure this country reflects the values that will keep it the place that people around the globe want to emulate, a land of freedom where democratic values and respect for human rights prevail. What I wish for each of you as you pursue your area of interest in the law is to do it boldly, with courage, and in a way that lifts us up. And in talking with some of you graduates, I came away so encouraged. And each one of you I've spoken with credits an extraordinary Boston College faculty. Talia Wesley described a tough first year that left her at times feeling overwhelmed, wondering if she could do this. But when she contacted a professor asking for a little extra time to finish an assignment, she was astonished that Cheryl Bratt not only said yes, but repeatedly reached out to her to be helpful. Weekdays, weekends, to make sure that Talia was getting the support that she needed. Talia told me that all of her professors have been incredible. She said they have wanted her and all of you to succeed. Today, her goal is to specialize in employment discrimination and harassment in the workplace. Jamie Ehrlich told me her work in the Innocence Program here at BC taught her that the law is not always fair, that it can act in awful ways, and that her work to exonerate a client was the most meaningful experience of her life. She said her experience taught her that the critical role of advocacy is that you have to ask for the spotlight to demand change. Jamie praised her professors, said they're all here to make a difference. And she credits Professor Sharon Beckman, founder and director of the Innocence Program and co-head of the Criminal Justice Clinic, for being an incredible advocate for so many people without a voice. I also spoke with Javon Davis, who told me, we hear a lot about law schools being cutthroat and competitive. You don't hear that about BC. People have been kind to each other. Javon moved to Boston from Virginia and said the snow was an adjustment, but that he found his passion here in work around civil rights and voting rights, especially after the 2020 election. He says he now recognizes that it's important not only to pursue litigation, but also to get legislation right. He said, when I saw it was possible to challenge an election, I wanted to be part of making sure it doesn't happen again. He cited several professors, and in particular, Daniel Farbman, who teaches movement lawyering and inequality, as having a profound effect on him. In my own long career in journalism, which can reward the most competitive, I have learned it's the colleagues who lift each other up, who lend a hand, who we remember and we appreciate and we stay in touch with as the years go by. With this great BC education, you will be able to succeed in the work that you choose. But if you remember to lend a hand to those beside you and behind you on that ladder, you will also be successful in the race to celebrate our humanity. I mentioned a moment ago the late Congressman Silvio Conti as a distinguished graduate of this law school, and I want to close with a story about him that I'll never forget. It was 1990 at the ceremony in Washington when our then one-year-old daughter, whom we had adopted from South Korea, as an infant, she was to become a citizen, along with dozens of other children adopted from dozens of other countries. It was the first all-children citizenship ceremony ever. Congressman Conti had been asked to speak, and by the way, she was joining our 2 biological sons. We wanted a daughter, and along came Lauren. That day, Congressman Conti was the speaker. He looked out at the crowd of wide-eyed little children sitting alongside their parents and their grandparents, each one waving a little American flag. And in his booming voice, he said, "You can go to France, but you'll never be a Frenchman. You can go to Italy, but you'll never be an Italian. You can go to Germany, you'll never be a German. But today, every one of you is an American. That's what makes this a great country." That was 3 decades ago, and at a very different moment in American political life. It's not at all clear right now that America is as welcoming as it was then, but each one of you graduates today has the ability to make it so in the future, to move it in the direction of the welcoming, open, and humane place that we all want it to be. For all Americans, those who are here now, those who will become citizens in the future. The country that's known for its striving to be better with the goal of fairness and opportunity for all. We aren't there yet. We're far from it. But now, more than ever, we are reminded of these goals, and we need each one of you to play your part in getting us there. Congratulations. Thank you.
I will now call for conferral the candidates for the degree Master of Laws. Alex Charles Imar Bada. Nihal Nur Bayram. Hugh Thomas Brophy. Dishat Chate. Peter Thomas Michael Danton. Emma Gagne. Augustine Betino Jimenez. Alankriti Rajya Lakshmi Rana. Kamal Shaheen.
Eric Sevla. Hao Tang. Georgia Signopoulos. Father Chrysanthus Ugorji. Congratulations.
Hello, everyone, and congratulations. First, I would like to announce our December 2022 Juris Doctor graduates. Shelby Cataldo, Indigo Harris, Trevor Lang, Svetlana Habanimana. Now, I am pleased to present the class of 2023 for the degree of Juris Doctor. Karina Marie Abedi. Alize Ahmed. Michael Thomas Alario, magna cum laude. Haley R. Albee, cum laude. Casey McGarty Allen. Rod Alsoya. Michelle E. Astor Pratt, cum laude. Kaylee Eileen Basagalupo, cum laude. Jesse Beck, cum laude. Matthew Alexander Baker, magna cum laude. Christina Catherine Bally. Maureen S. Berry. Daria Bhatia. Jessica I. Bailanco. Bilikis Imani Bioku. Thomas R. Blakely. William R. Blanchett, summa cum laude. Alexis Eleanor Blickman. Arden L. Bonzo. Alexander Borman. Brittany C. Bowers, cum laude. Henry L. Cabot. Kennedy K. Cameron. Hayden Carlson, cum laude. Jonathan Drew Carrico. Isabel Lily Catanzaro, cum laude. Daniel L. Kavanaugh. Allison M. Cavaretta. Janice Louise Chase. Jeremy J. Chase. Joanne Chen, cum laude. Stephen H. Chen. Allison L. Cheney, magna cum laude. Zachary R. Coder. Brian Corbaz. Kevin S. Corcoran Itagaki, cum laude. Robert C. Corona. Sarah Victoria Cortinez. Jeffrey Derry. Jack N. Dom, cum laude. Sean Thomas Davenport. Javon D. Davis. Lawrence Dossie Jr. Mateo Deo. Elizabeth Carey Decker, cum laude. Joshua S. DeYoung. Elizabeth Didicalo. Max Thomas Doherty, summa cum laude. Sean Donahue. Mark F. Donovan, cum laude. Ershin Du, cum laude. Eugenie Pilar Dubé. Andrew E. Dubsky. Nicholas Martin Ebel. Oh, I did. Jamie A. Ehrlich. John J. Cubitas. My apologies. Andrew E. Dubsky. Nope. Andrew C. Ehrman. Did I get it? Emily E. Elderkin. Benjamin R. Ellington, cum laude. Rebecca Elsner. Madison V. Eltrich. Claire Enright. Kristen M. Fahey. Yahia Hazem Fahmy. Austin Scott Fanistock, cum laude. Rachel Feinberg. Alexi Antonio Fernandez Caballero. Robert Ferrulo III, magna cum laude. Andre S. Festekjian, cum laude. Derek James Flynn. Elizabeth Ryan Foley, magna cum laude. Here today to present Elizabeth her scroll is her mother, BC Law alumna and Middlesex District Attorney Marian Ryan. Matthew J. Fuchsman. Isabella C. Forcino, cum laude. Brendan J. Franca. Sydney A. France, cum laude. Julian A. Ferrari. Camden Fuller. Melissa Teresa Gaglia. Kelly J. Garrettson, magna cum laude. Shokit Gazel. Nicholas Gennaro Gerleo. Samuel B. Goldsmith, summa cum laude. Caleb Gorman. John E. Gosselin, cum laude. Samantha H. Gottlieb, cum laude. Nicolette M. Greger. Theodore I. Brewer, cum laude. Kinley Garino. Amit Gulati. Divya Gulati. Remy Dylan Haber, magna cum laude. Alexander Leander Hadieris, cum laude. Zoe Rose Haggerty, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Donahue Harrington. Taylor Hayes Hickey, magna cum laude. Taylor Louisa Hobbs, magna cum laude. Jeremy Hollings. Wade G. Homer. Cleo Zhu Song Hu. Molly Louise Huff. Matthew Phillips Hirsch. Samuel G. Hussman, cum laude. Connor C. Heidick, cum laude. Kosisochi P. Ifediba. Hannah C. Jackson. Nathaniel Jaffe, cum laude. Joseph Pietro Giannetti. Ajan Jayant. Devin L. Jerome, cum laude. David M. Julian. Christine Marie Calpin, cum laude. Jacqueline D. Kane. Keanu Elena King. Love Deepak Karia. Matthew Frank Karpinski, magna cum laude. Ryan J. Cower. Kiranjoth Kaur. Patrick W. Keating. Megan Rosemary Keown. Brittany Kerouac. Danby Kim. Shane Kinsella. Lindsay Priam Kezekai. Delilah Heitzman Klein. James Masaru Kobayashi. Michael Reed Kobus. Jessica A. Koschel. Tanner J. Cramp. Maxwell W. Kranek. Haley W. Kronthal. Claire Marie Kathleen Kuhn, cum laude. James C. Kyle, cum laude.
Abigail Sydney LaFontaine. John N. Lanzert, cum laude. Kayla La Rosa. Elizabeth A. Lee. Jayoon Georgianne Lee. Jan D. Lee. Zachary Jung Sung Lee. Dylan James Lear. Matthew Peter Lieber. Sarah Danielle Litwin. Tong Lu, cum laude. Amy Catherine LeBou. James R. Lopez Olvera. Andrew Glennon Lotz, magna cum laude. Louise Beliveau Lyall. Longue Ma, cum laude. Morgan Elizabeth Macharulo. Claire A. McCullum. Samuel Jacob Mack, cum laude. Scott Kane McKenzie. Fiona McGuire. Catherine Pierce Mallory. Seth S. Manilov. Dominic J. Maza, cum laude. John Allen R. McKinney. Lily Olivia Mendoza. Emmy E. Metzger. Leah Grace Midda. Benjamin Ellis Minerva. Catherine Salter Minorini. William W. Morrow. Ryan J. Moser. Brendan M. Murphy, magna cum laude. Kevin Murphy. Anna G. Niles, cum laude. Claire Margaret Noon. Fidel Y. Núñez Castillo. Emily Catherine O'Hara, magna cum laude. Heather Christine Odell, summa cum laude. Mariatu Sapteyu Ietunde Edukeuji Okunafwa. Julia E. Palmerino, cum laude. Vincent Pandolfi. Emily Parks. Kristen Elise Parnagone, cum laude. Nikita A. Patel. Leah E. Paxton. Samantha Catherine Pearsall, cum laude. Joanna Alexander Plaisir. Ornisha Polanum, cum laude. Sarah Kimia Porshadi. Connor A. Ramlo, cum laude. Patricia Lee Learhoff Rizak. Joseph Luis Rivera. Tristan C. Rogers, magna cum laude. Matthew J. Ross, cum laude. Blair Alexis Rotert, cum laude. Maxwell R. Rue. Zaina Rami Safadi, cum laude. Omar Eduardo Salgado. Travis Glenn Salters, cum laude. Manuel Alejandro Sanchez Wong. Adrian Santiago Ortiz. Nicholas M. Sean, cum laude. Mary Kate Sesclafer. Joy M. Scobo. Benjamin Ballin Sharp. Emma R. Sagenberg. Pia Rai Singh. Benjamin C. Skillen, cum laude. Eric Anthony Salamini, summa cum laude. Clayton Colby Spivey. Yungyut Hayden Stark. Francesca Marie Steiner. James Cooper Stouch. Connor Sullivan, cum laude. Joseph H. Swain. Ian Jeffrey Swan, cum laude. Spencer Morley Thompson, cum laude. Jyoti R. Tibrawala. Hunter Kingsfeld Winston Tracy. Chantel Sullivan Tron. Chukwuemeka Kennedy Ukelegaranya. Hannah Sarah C. Ursini. Emily Van Auken, cum laude. Lauren Vineyard, cum laude. James T. Wallace, cum laude. Connor Kisling Walsh, cum laude. Julian J. Washington. Farah Rose Way. Robert A. Walsh IV, magna cum laude. Eli Semino Wendell. Talia Wesley. Tam Wheat. Nicholas J. Whiten, magna cum laude. Nadisha S. Wikramaratna, cum laude. Kate Louise Wilson, cum laude. Kevin Lee Winiarski, magna cum laude. Samuel V. Weezon, magna cum laude. Lena A. Worden. Xiao Ying Yu. Julia Zabriskie. Nicole Ann Zalata, cum laude. Yu Qing Walter Zhong. Xiaobing Zhong, cum laude. Sion Ashley Zhong. Gabriela Zoya Fialo.
Please join me in one more round of applause to our now graduates. Not quite done yet. But it's very exciting. I would now like to present our Commencement Day Awards. First is the Susan Grant Desmarais Award for Public Service Achievement and Leadership. This year's award winner, also with a beautiful voice, is Sarah Orsini. Yeah, you can come on up. I'll say nice things about you now. Sarah's commitment to public service is impressive, and her accomplishments are many. At BC Law, Sarah worked in both the Innocence Clinic and as a full-year student attorney in the Defenders Clinic during her 3L year. She tutored incarcerated and formerly incarcerated juveniles through the PD Green program and volunteered with the Starbucks Workers United Labor Union, engaging in fundraising efforts and strike initiatives. She has worked for community legal aid, focusing on custody disputes involving domestic violence survivors. Sarah's peers, here before you, have expressed their admiration for her commitment to serving the community and for her status as a role model for their own public service efforts. As she leaves BC Law, Sarah will return to the Public Defender Division of CPCS, where she worked as a student. We look forward to seeing all that she will accomplish in the future. Congratulations. Our next award is the St. Thomas More Award for exemplifying the intellectual, spiritual, and moral qualities of St. Thomas More. This year's St. Thomas More Award goes to Elizabeth Foley. As she walks up here, I will say that it will likely be unsurprising to those who know Elizabeth Foley to hear that she received more peer nominations for a graduation award than any other student. Almost every person who commented on Elizabeth's work as a law student expressed how she held the law school community together. She has been described as the cornerstone of our section during 1L year, the glue of our section, a cheerleader who is kind to everyone, going out of her way to make me feel welcome and included. No student has engaged with our entire class more. Throughout her time at BC Law, Elizabeth blended her intellectual and professional interests with her commitment to the well-being of others. She served her classmates as an LSA representative in each of her 3 years. She was a teaching assistant for both first-year contracts and Introduction to Children's Rights, and she participated in the Innocence Program and the Juvenile Rights Advocacy Project. She organized social events and professional opportunities, all while the world was wondering how to stay connected during the most difficult periods of the COVID-19 pandemic. Her contributions were summarized by one recommender as follows: she cares deeply about her peers and invested so much energy and love into helping others. She was the wind in the sails of countless law students. If a student needs professional advice, Elizabeth is there. If a student needs academic advice, Elizabeth is there. If a student just needs someone to listen, Elizabeth is there. Truly, Elizabeth's efforts are in the proudest tradition of St. Thomas More. Congratulations. Now for the Philip Joseph Privitera 95 Commencement Award for exceptional contributions through outstanding scholarship and commitment to service as well as to the work of the law. This year's Privitera Award winner is Michael Alario. The Privitera Award recognizes exceptional contributions through outstanding scholarship and commitment to service, as well as to the work of the law. Michael has served as a member of the LSA during all 3 years of his law school career, serving his final year as vice president. The impact he made as a student leader is perhaps best described by those he served. Some described his calm demeanor, poise, and grace, and how he put those qualities to work to lighten the load of his colleagues. Others described his friendly, supportive nature and inexhaustible school spirit, and how those characteristics eased their own adjustments to the rigors of law school. All who spoke of him expressed their gratitude for his efforts in representing students and for his willingness to be the go-to problem solver for student issues. In the midst of fulfilling myriad leadership responsibilities, Michael has also been an excellent scholar, writing and editing for the Boston College Law Review and publishing a student note. In all he did, Michael expressed the genuine love for Boston College of a double eagle. He graduates having established a legacy of enthusiasm, support, and service. Congratulations, Michael. Our final award today is the Attorney Michael A. Flanagan Award, which recognizes the student who ranks first in the graduating class, our valedictorian. I'm honored to share with you that the valedictorian of the BC Law class of 2022 is Heather Odell. Heather's prior work experiences motivated her to attend law school to become a more effective advocate for the rights of immigrants. After studying international affairs and Spanish at Pepperdine University, she worked in refugee resettlement in her hometown of Auburn, Washington, and for nonprofits in the Dominican Republic on human trafficking issues. As a dual degree student at BC Law and the Fletcher School at Tufts University, she has focused her studies on immigration, civil rights, and international human rights. She's represented clients in BC's immigration and civil rights clinics, conducted research on the financial inclusion of Venezuelan migrants in Colombia, and externed at the Inter-American Court of Human Rights. After graduation, she looks forward to advocating for non-citizens experiencing homelessness in Miami-Dade County as an Equal Justice Works Fellow. Congratulations, Heather, on this remarkable achievement. I would now like to invite the president of the Law Students Association, Talia Wesley, to the podium.
Thank you, Dean Leanow, Father Leahy, Provost Quigley, Ms. Woodruff, distinguished faculty, guests, and most importantly, the class of 2023. It's truly a privilege to have this opportunity to reflect on our class and our rather unique time here at BC Law. Tasked with this challenge, let's just say writing this speech did not come easy. I began this process trying to think of a theme, something that defined our class, our law school experience. Of course, I couldn't possibly ignore the global pandemic-sized elephant in the room. While I could go on for the next 5 minutes talking about the strength and the perseverance we showed throughout one of the most unpredictable years of our lives, and believe me, if you want that speech, I have about 5 versions I'm happy to distribute, it didn't feel right to limit our law school experience to one of pure uncertainty and difficulty. When I look back on our time here, of course, I remember the isolation and fear we all felt throughout the pandemic. But that's just one small chapter in the far larger story of our legal education. In fact, when I look back on these 3 years, I don't immediately think about the ways the pandemic impacted us, but rather how we rose to the challenge. I think about the tenacity and motivation it took each of us to uproot our lives, potentially moving to a strange city where we knew no one, all to begin this journey in our lives towards careers of zealous advocacy for others. Rather than let the uncertainty define us, we jumped in headfirst, ready to immerse ourselves in the law and begin this unpredictable journey. 3 years later, we sit here ready and eager to put our education to work. So in that spirit, and in the spirit of the upcoming bar exam, I thought it might be helpful to do a quick review of some of the lessons we learned here at BC Law. We learned that no interest is good unless it must vest, if at all, not later than 21 years after some life and being at the creation of the interest, whatever that means. We learned that no matter how stressed or unprepared we ever felt for an exam, we could always count on Richard Freer to explain the Erie Doctrine just one more time. We learned that our professors' incredible legal expertise may not always translate to their expertise using Zoom. And we learned time and again that this degree we receive today, this career we've chosen for ourselves, comes with immense power that can fundamentally alter the course of history, for better or worse. Over the last 3 years, we saw lawyers attempt to dismantle substantive due process, and with it, decades of progress towards equality for all in the eyes of the law. We saw lawyers intentionally spread falsehoods about our democratic institutions in a coordinated effort to erode trust and create sky-high levels of division and strife. However, we also saw lawyers fight tirelessly to preserve those same democratic institutions, to ensure that every American could access the right to vote and have their voice heard. Just a few months ago, we saw lawyers flock to Martha's Vineyard to provide legal aid to migrants seeking refuge. If this isn't a lesson in the power of our degrees, I don't know what is. When we walk out these doors, diploma in hand, we take far more than our ability to IRAC our way through a complicated issue spotter. We've learned the law, yes, but as we've also learned, the law is as much about interpretation as it is the black letter doctrine. We now bear an immense responsibility to see where gaps in the law, or the law itself, have created or promoted injustice, and where we can use our legal education to fix it. Easy, right? I recognize this is a tall order, but as I look around the room, I'm reminded of the intellect, commitment, and compassion this class has showed time and again. I'm reminded of the clients we represented through pro bono work, internships and clinics, providing the underserved in our community with unparalleled legal representation, the hours we dedicated to journal publications, advocacy teams, and professor research, the money we raised to support our fellow students and students to come through scholarships, public interest stipends, and crisis aid, the first-class display of teamwork and dedication at the annual UVA softball tournament, the shoulder we lent one another to cry on in times of difficulty, the joy we shared in times of triumph. Regardless of the path we each choose to follow, whether you go on to an associateship at a firm, a judicial clerkship, a nonprofit fellowship, or even something completely unrelated to the law, these last 3 years have prepared us to think critically, lead with compassion, and act with integrity. BC Law is far more than just a law school. It's a community that taught us that just because we can do it alone doesn't mean we have to, that our individual successes are made so much sweeter when we get to share them with others. In that vein, I want to end by thanking everyone here celebrating with us today. The parents, grandparents, siblings, significant others, professors, mentors, pets, and particularly my family who supported me. Thank you for listening to us complain about classes, for being our biggest cheerleaders, and for having confidence in us when we may not have had confidence in ourselves. The degrees we receive today belong to you as well. Now, before our time at BC Law officially comes to a close and we begin our summer of bar prep, first, take time to reflect, relax, and most importantly, celebrate. You've definitely earned it. Thank you, and congratulations again to the class of 2023.
Good afternoon. I'm the Reverend James M. Hairston. I am a campus minister here at Boston College. When I'm not here at Boston College, I'm also a chaplain in the United States Army. And the two groups of people I work with the most are the doctors and the lawyers. So it's truly an honor and a privilege to be in front of you today. Let us please stand as you are able. And let us pray. Almighty and eternal God, we thank you for giving us life and for blessing us with this day. We thank you for blessing us with this commencement ceremony. This ceremony that simultaneously marked an end and a beginning. This class, the class of 2023, has concluded their enrolled student status here at Boston College Law School. They tied up their practicums in their coursework, the whispered conversations between library shelves or Zoom chat rooms. They gracefully end the student and passion debates in the "when I graduate, I will," and "when I become a lawyer, I will." Holy God, this ceremony marks the beginning of the class of 2023's transition into being professional practitioners of the law. They did graduate. They will become lawyers. Their conversations are fit for subject matter experts because they are subject matter experts. Their whispers are now loud voices of advocacy. Their practicums are now viable points of experience. And Holy Creator, we know that they did not do it all by themselves. They had friends, family, professors, well-wishers, and of course you along the way, to guide them and to advocate for them. Let our graduates remember this, that as they were cheered on and prayed for, that they do the same for those who seek their counsel, especially for the least of these, our marginalized siblings. In the words of Father Edmund, we ask you this in confidence, that you are the God who made us. You are the God who saves us. You are the God who sanctifies us each and every day. Amen.
This concludes our commencement exercises for the class of 2023. I invite you all to join us for our reception in the concourse above us. And again, congratulations to the graduates, their families, and their friends.